Another tough loss there to the Memphis Grizzlies. New York Knicks were sticking with them there at the end. Jalen Brunson with an amazing fourth quarter. Knicks pretty much took the lead there, and then John Morant had a look down low, and John Morant made the layup, and just a frustrating another loss at home for the New York Knicks. Frustrating all around, and now we have some injuries to deal with. Emmanuel quickly, we don't know what's to deal with him, but frustrating. Let me just tweet that we're live right now. Once again, I'm Anthony from Knicks Nation. Frustrating loss all around. The Memphis Grizzlies are now 2-0 against the Knicks during the season, and John Morant with a triple-double tonight. He was pretty much unstoppable. Quentin Grimes had him held there in check in the first half, but then John Morant does what John Morant does. Big task at hand. Appreciate you, man. What's good? Hope your Thanksgiving was out. Likewise, man. My Thanksgiving was well. Hope yours was too. I wish the Knicks would have pulled this win out tonight. Jalen Brunson there with an amazing fourth quarter, but he just had two misses there at the end. So, I mean, the Knicks lose another one at home, and it's frustrating. It really is frustrating. But I mean, where do we go from here? Now we have to deal with these injuries. Emmanuel quickly now, knee injury. We hope that it's not serious. Hopefully Emmanuel quickly can get back in action. It's just this one hurt, man. This one really stung. I really thought we were gonna come out there in the end. I really thought Jalen Brunson was gonna hit one of those tough shots and win us the game there. I mean, he was due. Last game, Brunson missed a tough shot, and look, you take those shots any day. Jalen Brunson is the guy you want taking those shots, but obviously you've had Julius Randle and RJ Barrett hit clutch shots before, but Jalen Brunson there at the end just misses two. One was a shot and one was a floater. Yeah, although Brunson missed that shot, I didn't want anybody taking that shot. I saw Brunson. Yeah, man, especially in that fourth quarter. Jalen Brunson had, I believe, 17 points in that fourth quarter. He was willing the Knicks to a victory. The Knicks were well on their way to a victory, and they took the lead there, but then John Morant came down, made a second chance opportunities tonight, killed the Knicks. Steven Adams on the Memphis side is a great offensive rebound. Mitchell Robinson was having trouble with him all night, boxing him out, and that last play at the end, John Morant got his rebound, made the shot, and then Brunson comes down, misses a shot, has another opportunity to tie the game, misses the shot as well. So, I mean, these are frustrating losses, especially these losses at home. I mean, the Knicks started the season 3-0 at home. They started the season 3-0 at home, and now they're under 500 at home. They are 4-5 at home. They are 9-11 on the season, and this homestand doesn't get any easier. This was a game that you could have easily won. I mean, not easily, but you could have stole this game from Memphis, leading into momentum to the next game, but it's just the offensive rebounds killed you there in the fourth quarter. John Morant obviously was killing you there in the fourth quarter, 27 points, 14 assists, 10 rebounds. But we had a lot of positives there at the Knicks end. Before we dive into the negatives, we had a lot of positives. Obviously, it starts with Jalen Brunson. Like I said, 17 fourth quarter points. Finished the game with 30 points, almost had a double-double and 9 assists. Then RJ Barrett found his shot from 3, 2 of 6 from 3, 9 of 18 there, 22 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Okay game, solid game on RJ. No complaints at RJ Barrett tonight. Julius Randle was really the backseat passenger tonight. 14 points, 9. Julius Randle almost had a triple-double. 14 points, 9 assists, 10 rebounds from Julius Randle. So almost with a triple-double, and it was just pretty much the Jalen Brunson show there at the end of the game. And it's frustrating that the New York Knicks lose another one, lose a game that they're supposed to win there at the end, especially with the task that they were fronted. It's just one of those frustrating, to say the least. I'm going to keep saying it. Frustrating. Yeah, Jalen Brunson, his last 3 games, has scored over 30 points. and he's just a baller, straight baller. 9 assists. Once again, if you're new here, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I'm just tweeting out right now on my Knicks Nation page. Also, if you're not following us on Twitter, at Knicks Nation is the Twitter handle. Yeah, I'm just tweeting out some stats here. If the Knicks would have hit their threes, they would have won the game. Yeah. The New York Knicks tonight were 10 of 30 from three, 33%. We all know the New York Knicks are not a great shooting three-point team. They're not. And they're in the bottom echelon of the league in terms of shooting the three, which is why teams mostly go zone when playing the New York Knicks. But tonight, Memphis didn't go zone all night, I think. They didn't go zone. But the Knicks, they were missing a few easy ones, 10 of 30 tonight. And if they were to just hit a few ones there, we would have won. And some nice things happened off the bench, too. Obi Toppin finally came alive tonight. He was playing well there in the fourth quarter. And something that kind of ticked me off, too, was Jericho Sims not getting any playing time tonight. I mean, Jericho Sims has been one of your most consistent players. For him not to play, especially with Isaiah Hartenstein struggling there on the defensive end. And look, put in Jericho Sims, man. He deserves playing time. He deserves to play. And Jericho Sims needs to play. I mean, there should be no rhyme or reason why Jericho Sims is not playing, especially when he has been one of your most consistent players on the team. So, I mean, that's Tom Thibodeau, though. That's Tom Thibodeau's rotations. If he doesn't want to play Sims, you really can't. I mean, it is what it is at this point. Yeah, man, another frustrating one, man. I'm just frustrated, man. The Knicks are now 9-11 and 9-11 on the season. I mean, now they're 2 games below 500, 4-5 at home, and this game hurt because Sunday game, feeling it at the end. Brunson was balling there at the end. If one of those shots just were to hit the net and go in, man, it would have been a great Sunday. But unfortunately, Brunson couldn't get those shots to fall at the end, and that was pretty much the game there. Because if Brunson makes those shots, we win. I believe we win the game. Questionable calls during the game. Officiating was crap today, to say the least. But on both sides, Grizzlies side and the Knicks side, so I'm not gonna really harp on the officiating tonight. Both sides were pretty much a crappy called game. Buzzer beater, man. What's up? Who was guarding Morant? Quentin Grimes was guarding Morant early on in the game, but throughout the game, they put Cam Reddish on Morant. Then they tried Barrett, then Grimes still. But John Morant is a superstar. He's going to get his, and he just willed the Memphis Grizzlies to a victory tonight. He does what John Morant does. He made some key baskets there at the end, some key assists there, triple-double, man. 27 points, 14 assists, 10 rebounds for John Morant. He carried the Grizzlies. Yeah, I agree. Cam was taking too many risks guarding John Morant there. But Cam Reddish is a good defender, which is why Tom Thibodeau trusted him in putting him on John Morant tonight. But like I said, no matter who you put on John Morant, it really doesn't really matter. Superstars are going to find a way, and the Knicks did. They tried to slow him down tonight. First half, they did slow him down, and second half, that's when he picked it up. You can tell Memphis made an adjustment there, and the Knicks they didn't have an answer for the Memphis making an adjustment. They didn't have an answer. Yeah, like I said, Steven Adams tonight, 7 offensive rebounds. We know what he does. That's what he does. He's one of the best offensive rebounding bigs in the league alongside Mitchell Robinson, and Mitchell Robinson couldn't really put a body on him tonight. Steven Adams is strong. Those 7 offensive rebounds tonight, they killed the Knicks. Memphis had, I believe, 15 or 17 second second chance points, and that was the game right there. Memphis, they were missing shots, but they were getting their own rebound and kicking it out. And there was a possession there at the fourth quarter when they missed a shot, and they actually got 2 offensive rebounds on the possession, and that killed the momentum. Knicks had the momentum there in the fourth quarter, and like I said, Obi was playing well. Everyone was playing well. You can tell the momentum switched when, the fourth quarter. It switched. The Knicks were riding the momentum. They took the lead there. Brunson balled out in the fourth quarter, and unfortunately, the Knicks came out and losing it tonight. Look, Memphis is a good team, but it stings when you could have won this game, especially at home. Another home loss, like I've been saying. I've been preaching for the New York Knicks to win these home games because time in and time out, every single year now, it seems like you allow teams to come into Madison Square Garden and win on your home court. And in the NBA, if you're not going to hold a good home record, you're not going to have a good record at the end of the season. So the Knicks have to figure out some type of home cooking at home because we want to see them win at home. We want to see them win, period. But especially when they have these games at home. I believe they play 6 out of the next 7 games at home. They've now lost back, I believe, 3 straight at home now, or 4 straight. But it's unfortunate, man. It stinks. It really does stink. Let's just go through the box score again and see what stands out in the box score tonight. I'm going towards the team stats, so bear with me for 1 second. Yep, team stats, field goal percentage was about the same. The thing that stands out to me is the rebounding. Knicks were rebounded by 8, and they were out rebounded by 4 on the offensive side of the basketball. This was a pretty solid game all around. Knicks had 30 assists. They were sharing the rock, sharing the ball, 7 blocks on the game. Mitchell Robinson, it's good to see him get his legs back and have a block party. We all know Mitchell Robinson is a elite shot block defender, and it's good to see Mitchell Robinson have a bounce back game. Fast break points, pretty much the same. Points in the paint, both teams had 64 points in the paint. Fouls, Knicks had 4 more fouls than the Grizzlies. So, like I said, it's pretty much the same in terms of both teams. The thing that stands out was the second chance opportunities. Memphis came in the fourth quarter and was just out rebounding the Knicks like crazy. Knicks had no answer for them on the offensive boards. And it stinks because Mitch is such a great defender, right? He's such a great rebounder. The Knicks just sometimes they get lazy and they don't box out. That's just not Mitchell Robinson. That's Julius Randle. That's RJ Barrett. And that's in the backcourt. So, look, they just have to box out, man. It's the simple fundamentals that they're not doing right now. And if you're not going to do these simple fundamentals, you're not going to win. Yeah, man. So we talked about Jalen Brunson tonight. RJ Barrett, 22 points for the kid, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. First half there was a few opportunities for him there to kick it out. You can tell he was very passive there in the first half. He didn't want to make a mistake. Still missed a few around the rim, but all in all, solid game out of RJ. You would have liked to see his efficiency get better there, but get better. 9 of 18 from the field. He attempted the second most shots on the team behind Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson himself was 8 of 19 from the field, 3 of 5 from 3. So, but Brunson is getting to the line at will. He shot 12 attempts tonight and 9 assists. Like I said, the Knicks were sharing the ball tonight tremendously. Julius Randle also had 9 assists. So that wasn't the issue. The Knicks, I think the injury to Emmanuel Quickley really hurt the Knicks there in the second half because in that first half, again, Emmanuel Quickley was balling. Played 9 minutes, 6 points, plus 2. Well on his way to another great game from Emmanuel Quickley. We just hope that Emmanuel Quickley's knee injury is not serious. He was grabbing at his knee there, came out of the game and did not return. But Emmanuel Quickley was well on his way to another good game for the New York Knicks. like I said, we just hope that we receive some good news on Emmanuel Quickley's knee, because that is the last thing the New York Knicks need. We do not need Emmanuel Quickley to be injured for a long period of time. We just don't. So that'll be terrible. And I'm knock on wood, because I don't want there to be any long-term injury regarding Quickley. Derrick Rose was back along with Cam Reddish. Cam Reddish there in the fourth quarter hit a nice three-point shot, was playing okay defense there on John Morant. But like I said, John Morant does what John Morant does. Cam Reddish came back from his groin injury, Derrick Rose from his foot injury, and played well. Cam Reddish played well. Quentin Grimes remained in the starting rotation with Cam Reddish back, and I think that's the right move if you're the Knicks. I think Grimes does a lot on the defensive end, and he will help out a lot in the first unit. Grimes does a lot of things that don't show up in the box score. Quentin Grimes is swift. He brings energy. He plays defense. Like I said, his shot will come. And Grimes, he cuts. He's one of the Knicks' few players that actually cuts to the basket. And a few times there, Brunson found him. But, Cam Reddish off the bench played really well. Derrick Rose, solid minutes. Knicks got to figure out this minutes distribution, though, man. Because Emmanuel Quickley, if he's healthy, Deuce, Miles McBride. Like, I would even like to see Miles play. Derrick Rose, I love you, but I don't know if Derrick Rose is what the New York Knicks need right now off the bench, because you got Deuce. I think Deuce should be playing Quickley. I mean, what Deuce brings defense, Rose brings offense, although he's been struggling this year. So I think right now in their career, those two, in my opinion, they wash each other out. But Derrick Rose, I just think they got to figure out this. Well, now if Quickley's hurt, I think that Derrick Rose would obviously get more playing time. But I guess we just haven't seen the Derrick Rose that was on the Knicks 2 years ago. Was pretty much the sixth man of the year on our team. Was balling out, and granted tonight he's coming off an injury, so good to see Derrick Rose back though. But Emmanuel Quickley, let's go back to him. We just hope that his injury is not serious. We hope that his injury is short term. Maybe it's just a bruise. We're hoping for a bruise. But like I said, Emmanuel Quickley was playing really well in the limited minutes that he got there. Buzzer Beater in the chat. Appreciate you guys in the chat. Would you pick up Dwight Howard for a Flyer contract this season? He's not what we need. Right now, I think Jericho Sims would be better than Dwight Howard, to be honest with you. Jericho Sims there. Those two players, Sims and Howard, I think they're pretty much a wash in my opinion. So why bring on another big on this team when you have three bigs that need to play, you know? I don't think that's what the Knicks need, to be honest. Good question, though. Anybody? I mean, Obi Toppin, nice to see him bounce back tonight after struggling there for a few games. Isaiah Hartenstein. He's playing with a sore Achilles, Hartenstein is, but he's not playing well. And it stinks because early on in the season, Hartenstein was playing really well. But like I said earlier, Jericho Sims, DNP, coach's decision. It's stupid to me. It's stupid. Jericho Sims should be out there getting some minutes. And right now, I can make a case that he should be out there playing instead of Isaiah Hartenstein. I mean, a lot of Knicks fans can make that case because Jericho Sims has improved this season, and it's nice to see him improve. But this is what we're talking about. You have young players that are showing improvements, but once they show improvements, a DMP from Jericho Sims. It's honestly stupid. It doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense. And that's how you kill confidence in these young players. That's how you kill their confidence. It's dumb. I can't make anything of it. The only thing I can make of it is that's Tom Thibodeau for you. And at what point am I going to stop saying that? Because at this point, it's like beating a dead horse, right? Tom Thibodeau, dumb of you not to play Jericho Sims tonight. Dumb, especially when the Knicks were getting killed on the offensive rebounding there. Jericho Sims would have been a nice spark off the bench for the Knicks. What are our trade options? What can we get? For who? Name some players, and then I'll tell you what we can get. Right now, you have Fournier on the bench, riding the pine. I mean, I don't want to see Jericho Sims on the bench. That's for damn sure. But the Knicks have to free up some playing time here, and whether that's involving some guys in a trade, but they have to free up some playing time because this is just absurd. If I see iHeart shoot another floater from 3 feet, I would. You know what's funny? iHeart was actually hitting those floaters. iHeart was automatic in terms of floaters from 3 feet or 4 feet. iHeart was automatic. But the thing is, he's playing. Look, a few days ago, he said he was playing with a sore heel. And now iHeart is really struggling. But like I said, Jericho Sims is not struggling. So I don't understand the situation why Thibs wouldn't make that switch. I don't. DNP tonight, coach's decision for Jericho Sims makes absolutely no sense. It doesn't. Especially when you got iHeart struggling off the bench in 15 minutes. You got 15 minutes playing time. Come on now. Give those minutes to Sims. Let the young man shine, man. He's been balling. And it's just, it's dumb. It's honestly dumb. But, yeah. But let's go back to Mitchell Robinson. Came off an injury. And I think this was one of his best games this year. 16 points, 5 blocks tonight from Mitch, 7 rebounds. Solid game from Mitch. Really great game from Mitchell Robinson. Also hit 4 or 7 of his free throws. So Mitchell Robinson tonight, great game, 32 minutes. You love to see that. Didn't get in foul trouble tonight. And you can tell Mitch was all over the court. He just couldn't really get those rebounds there at the end. We just wanted him to see him get those rebounds over Steven Adams there. But get a couple of those rebounds, I think the Knicks win the game. But nice to see Mitch back. Block Party Mitch is back. Yeah, man, I really wish we saw Brunson there to get that game winner. It's just, what is it now? Couple games down in a row where he has missed the game winner. And he deserves it, man. One of these days, he will get that game winner that he deserves in the Garden because Jalen Brunson is playing at an all-star level. He's balling his ass out. This is now 3 straight games of 30-plus points. Jalen Brunson tonight, 30 points, 9 assists, 2 turnovers. He's a point guard, so 2 turnovers is huge. Came in the game questionable with a thigh injury and still balled out. So would have loved to see Jalen Brunson get that game-winning shot there at the end. It's just he missed 2 of them, and that's pretty much all she wrote. So very unfortunate for JB there to miss that. That would have been the icing on the cake if JB hit those shots, right? Buzzer beater, man. Appreciate you in the chat. iHeart can make them, but he needs to dunk those shots. He has been in the games where he has missed those shots. Yeah, iHeart struggled tonight. Really did. Like I said, I was preaching for Sims to get in the game tonight, and he didn't. But unfortunate circumstance that the New York Knicks are dealing with there. Because let's look at it, right? You have Mitchell Robinson, Isaiah Hartenstein, and Jericho Sims. Dib said before the season that everything would be merit-based. Is it? Is it, though? Because Sims has been playing well. Hartenstein has not. Would be easy to make that switch. To me. I mean, am I missing something there? I don't know. I'll be top in 15 minutes tonight. I mean, what can we expect? Cam Reddish, though. 24 minutes. Nice to see his minutes up. All of the starters except Grimes played over 30 minutes. Grimes, I mean, I think once Grimes gets his shot, once the Knicks start finding Grimes, someone met them there in the starting unit, I do think that he'll be exceptional in that starting lineup. I think he'll unlock everyone's game. But Grimes, they need to get him more involved on the offensive end because we saw it in Summer League. We know Quentin Grimes can score. And we just need to see the Knicks get him more involved. So, and for him to only attempt, what did he attempt tonight? 7 shots tonight as a starting shooting guard. Look, man, you're the shooting guard. Shoot the ball. The Knicks, that's not his fault. The Knicks have to get him more involved. They just do. And it's weird that Julius Randle only attempted 9 shots tonight. That's not the Julius Randle we're accustomed to seeing. Randle only attempts 9 shots. That's rare, man. So you can tell Randle, but he was contributing in terms of assisting. 9 assists tonight, and he was doing his job on the board. So look, Randle, maybe he realized that his shot wasn't falling tonight, and he wanted to pass the ball more and was being more passive throughout the game. Credit to him. Credit to Julius Randle for stepping up and doing it. But yeah, it's weird to see him shooting 9 field goals, Grimes 7 field goals. The Knicks have to find a way to get Grimes more involved in the offense because you got Barrett there, and Barrett was a good game out of Barrett, but he was inefficient. So, actually in the chat, when is the coach going to tell his players to stop shooting the 3? That's the way the NBA is going now, man. Shooting 3-pointer is the way the league is going. But unfortunately, the New York Knicks are one of the worst 3-point shooting teams in the league. And I think the Lakers are the only worst team behind the New York Knicks, and they keep shooting them. So, I mean, look, if they're open, you're gonna shoot it. Tom Thibodeau is gonna tell you to shoot it every time. 90% of the time, if you have an open look, you're gonna shoot the 3. So, more power to the Knicks, but they don't have a lot of makers on the team. They have a lot of shooters, but they don't have a lot of makers. So, yeah, man. Let me just look up the 3-point percentage. They're now dead last. The New York Knicks are dead last in the NBA in 3-point percentage. They shoot the 3 at 31% on the season, and they're 30th out of 30 teams. Charlotte is ahead of them with 31.7% by a small margin, but the New York Knicks are dead last in the NBA in terms of shooting, and which is weird because they're still putting up these godly numbers during these games, right? So you can only imagine if the New York Knicks were actually a good shooting team. I mean, what else could there be? I mean, if the Knicks were a good shooting team, they would be a great offense, but unfortunately, they're not a good shooting team. Man, that Jalen Brunson miss really hurt, man. That really hurt, man. I wanted that shot to fall for Jalen Brunson. I really did. Yeah, the Knicks are not getting defensive rebounds, which is another problem because I spoke about this earlier in the post game that Memphis was killing on the offensive boards tonight. Memphis had a lot of offensive boards, and most of that had to do with Steven Adams. Steven Adams was killing the New York Knicks on the offensive rebounding. So, yeah, that was the game right there. A few of those offensive rebounds there at the end, you win the game. But Steven Adams does what he does. He taps the ball back, and that was it, man. That was the game. Yeah, I just can't believe the New York Knicks are now dead last in the NBA in 3-point percentage. So that is crazy. Let's look up where they are in offensive rebounds per game. They're actually 5th in the NBA in offensive rebounds, but Memphis they're at number 2. Both teams are great offensive rebounding teams, but Memphis is just elite. Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. Defensive rebounding, the Knicks are number 10 in the NBA. Opponent shooting percentage, the Knicks are actually 6th in the NBA. Opponents are shooting 45% against us. So, yeah, Ja missed his shot there at the end and got it back. That killed the game. That killed the game for them. That killed the victory. Knicks were on their way to a victory. Ja Morant got his shot back and won the game. So that really hurt the Knicks, man. The offensive rebounding tonight was really the downfall on why the Knicks lost this game. Personal fouls per game. I'm just going through some stats here. Knicks are 28th in the NBA. They foul 22 times a game. So that coincides with playing defense, right? Knicks aren't a great defensive team, and they're fouling a lot. So scoring. Let's look at the scoring. Smack dab in the middle. 13th in the NBA. Look, they're above average. Knicks are above average in terms of scoring. They score 114 points a game. Last 3 games, they're scoring 117 points. But the thing is, they're shooting when you're scoring 114 points a game and you're last in the NBA in 3-point efficiency. I mean, you get a good, legit 3-point shooter on this team that can really unlock the offense. You just need makers. Players need to make the basket, shoot the basket, but you need to make the basket, and that's what's killing the Knicks. But they're on the offensive end, they're solid. It's just that the defensive end, man, they give up so many points on the defensive end. So it's just that's a recipe for disaster. And right now the Knicks are on the losing end. They fought at 2 games below 500. Once again, another loss at home. It's just really bad loss today. You had the game in the bag. Brunson there had 2 great looks and missed the shot. So, yeah. Goodilla Jaguar Paul, man. Appreciate you in the chat. Trade quickly for a pick and give up a nice package for SGA. Really? You want to trade Emmanuel Quickley after Emmanuel Quickley's been solid? And why would the Oklahoma City Thunder give up Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? SGA. I always botch his name. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. There we go. OKC ain't giving it up. Sam Presti's going to want 10 first-round picks for him. He's going to want 10 first-round picks for him. Why would OKC give him up? That's a player you go out and get. That's a player everyone's available for him. All our picks, all our players, if he's available, you do whatever it takes to get him. But I don't see why OKC would give him up. And trading Emmanuel Quickley, I spoke about this. I actually have a video on this, but I spoke about this a few days ago. On the Knicks side, I get it. He's one of your most valuable assets on the bench. But if you're just going to be able to trade him for a first-round pick, it's stupid. It's dumb to me. It doesn't make any sense. So if trading Emmanuel Quickley for just a first-round pick, like, unless you have intel of a star wanting to come to New York, which we haven't seen in years, and I don't trust this front office to have that type of intel. But Emmanuel Quickley is a guy you package to get another superstar. You don't just trade him for a first-round pick. So that's my opinion. Appreciate the comment, though. SGA don't fit the timeline. We suck at picks. He doesn't fit the Knicks timeline. I think SGA will fit the Knicks timeline. But like I said, I don't think Sam Presti's giving him up. I think he's going to want 5, 6 unprotected picks. But SGA has said nothing that gives you a reason that he wants out of OKC, unless OKC just deals him. Yeah, man. I agree with you on this. Front office needs to be held accountable. They do. This summer, they traded away a lottery pick to sign Jalen Brunson. Great signing. Amazing signing. He's obviously an all-star, but we still don't know the direction. They have a lot of guys on the team. Bad contracts after bad contracts. Kemba Walker last year, you had to attach a first-round pick to get rid of Kemba Walker. And now who's the person you have to attach the first-round pick to get rid of? Evan Fournier. Evan Fournier is benched, and you're going to have to attach an asset to get rid of Evan Fournier. And that's not how you should be using your first-round picks. You shouldn't be using them to get rid of bad contracts. It's either you draft people or you trade them in regards to bettering your team. But you shouldn't use first-round draft picks to attach them to get rid of a bad contract. And I think that's what the Knicks are going to have to do in terms of Evan Fournier. and it stinks. Actually, I'll give up 5 unprotected for SGA. Man, you said 5. I might go more. I might go more, man. I might go more. But like I said, Sam Presti he's not giving up SGA. He's not. I don't think he will. Unless SGA requests a trade. Is Randall an all-star? Look, that's when they looking at the box score and the averages can be deceiving, really deceiving. He's averaging 20 and 10. Last year he averaged, I believe, the same thing. Over 20 points and almost a double-double. 20 and 9 or something like that. And he was one of the top forwards in the league in terms of averaging, but we all know last season was a disaster for Randall and he didn't make the All-Star team. So it just depends on, look, he made the All-Star team 2 years ago when the Knicks were the 4th seed and the Knicks were winning. So if the Knicks are winning, somebody's going to make the All-Star team. And right now it's not Julius Randle. It's definitely going to be Jalen Brunson. I don't think Jalen Brunson is the leading candidate in my opinion. Let me just read this tweet from Robin Lerbird. Honest question, what do the Knicks do from here? Feels like the most treadmill roster in the NBA. I mean, I can't say I disagree with Robin, man. It feels like the New York Knicks are on this treadmill. And they're on this treadmill and they win a couple, they lose a few, and their cap space is tied up. So it's frustrating. It really is. I don't know where to go. It's just, I guess the silver lining would be, as a New York Knicks fan, is that they own the Dallas's pick this upcoming lottery. They own their own pick. That Dallas pick is top 10 protected, by the way. But they own their pick, and they own the Wizards pick, I believe. And right now, if the season was to end today, the Knicks would own all 3 of those picks. So in a NBA draft that they're predicting some elite talent to come out of this draft class. So the New York Knicks would own 3 picks in this upcoming draft class, which is why the front office and Leon Rose have a situation on their hand. Do they hit the reset button? As a Knicks fan, do you want to hit them to actually hit the reset button and just start from scratch? But how many years are they going to, quote unquote, they start from scratch? It would seem like this is the year to do it, because great incoming NBA class, college class, you can possibly own 3 picks, and you can probably get more picks for, let's say that you trade Rose to a contender. He's not worth a first. He'll be a second though, but they're in an interesting spot. Leon Rose and them are in a very interesting spot. Ain't Derrick Rose's contract up after this season? Derrick Rose has a team option next season. So, yes, his contract's up because nobody's going to pick up that team option. I believe it's like $16 million, and I don't see a team picking up Derrick Rose's contract. The treadmill to... The Knicks are on a treadmill right now, and they got a bunch of bad contracts on their team. They got guys that are not living up to expectation. They have young guys like Emmanuel Quickley and Obi Toppin that we still don't know their true potential because our coach just refuses to play them in extended minutes. So what is the future for this team? What is the future for the Knicks? It's $1 million question, right? Like I said, the only silver lining would be those picks. But do you want our front office making those picks? Do you want Leon Rose and Scott Perry to make all those picks? Package all of those picks together, RJ and Fournier, and get the second pick overall. That's not... Whoever's number 2 is not giving up that second overall pick for RJ Barrett and Evan Fournier. But yeah, actually, I said this earlier in the postgame. Sims should have been there and said, Isaiah Hartenstein, especially when you have Jericho Sims playing at a high level these last few games. I just don't understand why Thibs didn't make that switch. Interesting comment here from Jaguar Paul. Appreciate you in chat, man. Always. Once again, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do. I don't think we press the reset. You don't bring JB for a rebuild. Front office needs to be on a disgruntled star watch. But we've been hearing that now since Leon Rose has arrived. And it was Donovan Mitchell. We didn't get him. Donovan Mitchell was that prize. And some reason, either the Knicks got cold feet or the Jazz didn't want to trade him to the Knicks. But yeah, when they brought in Jalen Brunson, you knew that they weren't going to rebuild. You knew that they're going to try to win, because you don't sign a point guard 4 years, $100+ million, tie up all your cap space. You have Randall making over $100 million, Brunson making over $100 million, RJ Barrett making over $100 million, Mitchell Robinson $60+ million. So your cap space is, granted, you have a cap genius in your front office, but your cap space right now is all tied up. So I don't know, man. I don't know what direction they going. I really don't, man. I wish I could tell you. I mean, this would be the draft class to hit the reset button. Like I said, elite talent coming in from overseas. Obviously, you have Wembanyama. Whoever lands the number 1 pick would obviously be very happy to land him. And then you have Scoot Henderson. You have a lot of guys in the upcoming NBA draft class. So, but like I said, you're going to obviously want to build. Now you have Brunson. You're going to want to build around him and do whatever you want else to the roster. But it's just, they're in a really tough spot. So, yeah, man. But tough loss again. New York Knicks are now 9-11 on the season. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this post game. Let me just pull up their schedule real quick. I believe they play the Pistons next. They play on Tuesday at Detroit. Should be a layup win. The Knicks are now I think they're 2-0 against Detroit this year. So you have Detroit on Tuesday, and then you have a back-to-back, and then you play Milwaukee the next day. So, look, it doesn't get easier. Milwaukee, Dallas, Cleveland, Atlanta, Charlotte. So homestand doesn't get easier, but starts with a win against Detroit. Go out to Detroit, win against Detroit, take care of business, and try to get above 500 when you come back home against Milwaukee. But tough loss. Shout out to Jalen Brunson for balling his ass out tonight. Shout out to RJ Barrett for playing a solid game. Randall almost had a triple-double. Grimes, Reddish. The Knicks played their ass off tonight. Just unfortunate way to lose. Jaguar in the chat, they were banking on RJ to have a breakout season. His inefficiency is changing things. The December schedule looks tough. By the way, I'm subscribed. Peace. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, man, they were banking on RJ to have a breakout season. Look, I honestly think RJ's a good player, solid player. He's going to hover around the 20-point mark. He's going to have blow-up games where he scores 30-plus points. That's RJ Barrett. Right now, his offensive game is limited. He shoots three-pointers. He doesn't have a mid-range games, and he's driving to the basket hoping for a foul. That's his offensive game. And he's either driving for an easy layup or shooting a three. And he's done it well throughout his career, so he's just having a rough start to the season, but appreciate you, man, in the chat. But yeah, I'll be back here on Tuesday against the Detroit Pistons. Once again, I'm Anthony from Knicks Nation. Appreciate you guys contributing in the comments like always. But yeah, let's go Knicks. Hopefully they can get on the winning track, and I'll see you on Tuesday night. Peace.